to live life for something greater than themselves. And even the man of God, Pastor Sunday Adelaja, was an example of what he was teaching his people. His life was a life of service. His life is is a life of service. He's so disciplined, so purposeful, manages his time well. Everything he does is for a purpose. And I saw, when we were going to the church, I saw the van he uses, because he uses a van just because he needs to carry other people as well. So the van takes is it 6 or 7 people? And when I saw the van, I was taken aback, because what the big picture of it was on the van was Christ. You know, Christ on the cross. You know, the passion of the Christ. Whereby Christ had the thorns on his head, the crown of thorns, and all the stripes and all the bleeding. It was that graphic, like the passion of the Christ. That was the picture on the van, on his van. And what was written on it was, "Don't go to hell. I did this for you." You can imagine Christ with the crown of thorns on his head, with the blood bleeding from all his body, with all the stripes, with all the blood, hanging on the cross and saying, "Don't go to hell. I did this for you." And the number plate was, "God is alive." That was a car serving its own purpose, a purpose of evangelism. The car itself, his own car, was serving a purpose of evangelism. What an amazing person. What an amazing person. And we now started the training. Oh my God, oh my. The History Makers training. It was a training for a week. I've never been so stretched in my life. I never knew someone can exist with 2 or 3 hours sleep for a day for 7 days. So every 24 hours we sleep like 2 to 3 hours. It was so congested, so packed. It was they were stretching us to the limit to let us know that we can be stretched. It was good. In the morning, we had time. There was time to eat. There was time to train, to study, to read, to submit assignment. There was time for everything. It was a place that you were taught to redeem the times. To redeem the time. That if you're going to be a history maker, you have to learn to redeem the time. Time waits for nobody. Time waits for nobody. We'll wake up by 7:30, we are supposed to be having our breakfast. By 9, you are supposed to be in the prayer. After 9, you're supposed to go through trainings, workshop. By middle of the day, we are given a book to read. I never knew you could finish a whole book in 2 hours. We were stretched to read those books in 2 hours, to come up and to explain what we read in the books. And after that, you go more trainings, more lectures, more workshops. And we'll be finishing around 12, 1, 2 midnight. Or 2 in the morning, and we are told to go to our rooms with a detailed assignment. We'll be going and we'll just be running. In fact, we'll just be running to do assignments, and the assignments were all strategically designed to lead us to something, to lead us to knowing who you are, why you are called, what you are called to do, which area of society you are called to influence. And those assignments that we are starting by 1 or 12 or 1, we are told to submit it 7 a.m. in the morning. So you do your assignment till 5. You put it, you turn it in, and you sleep for 2 or 3 hours. And you had to be at the prayer ground by 9 o'clock. And if you are there 1 minute past 9, you are given a red dot. A red dot for being 1 minute late. If you are 1 minute late from submitting your assignment by 7 and you submit 7:01, you are given a red dot. And 3 red dots, you're told you're not ready for this training. That was how strenuous it was. But it was so enjoyable. That was a training that you needed to ask for grace of God to make you go through it. And God saw us through. God saw us through. Even the staff in the place, even the staff that runs the canteen, they were all fully working with time. They are all principled people with so much love and so much diligence and so much initiative. There was nobody pushing anybody to do their work. Everybody knew what he was supposed to be doing, what time they were supposed to be doing it, and they had so much peace around them. Even as diligent as they are, even as hardworking as they are, they had so much love to give out, so much patience. It was just an ideal place. It was just a place that you know that you are taught that anything is possible if you believe and you're ready to work for it and you're ready to pursue it with everything you've gotten. It was a place where you are taught that you have to fight for every minute of your time. And that is the way he lives as well, Pastor Adelaja. He fights for every minute of his time. Every minute of his time is for a purpose. He knows the time to rest. He knows the time to be busy. He knows the time to read. He knows the time to develop himself. He knows the time to go for his programs. He plans his life with time. And that is how we should plan our lives. With a plan. Every day should be planned. Our next 10 years should be planned. Our next 5 years should be planned. We should have a plan for our life. We should not be tossed here and there by the winds of changes. We must know the God we serve. We must know ourselves. And we must know who we are called to serve. The God you serve, yourself, and who you are called to serve. At the end of the week, each student, each of us, we had 5 phases of life, 5 phases of society, 5 nations, 5 phases of things, of society, of decisions, 5 decisions where we wanted to make a difference. 5, each person. We had to draw up a system and a plan and a structure and a time frame of how we were going to make this 5 decisions, this 5 spheres that we want to influence, how we're going to bring it to reality. How we're going to bring it to reality. We were taught how not to waste our time here and there, waste our time in so many frivolities, but how to stay focused on a goal and on a plan and how to run with it and bring it to fruition. We were told that you can't do anything without having personal time with your God. Without having personal time to seek the face of the Lord, to know him, to love him, so that you can better represent him, so that you can better reflect him. We are taught how to have time for solitude. After, no matter how busy our lives are, you always dedicate times, maybe a period in a week or a period in a month, that you just go to your God and just fellowship with him and just honor him, just rest on his bosom. Just be his friend. Just hear from him. Understand him. Know what he wants you to do. Know how he wants you to go about it. And come out again and begin to do it. You must always have time for solitude. Have time to hear from God. Have time to be with him. Have time to study without all the distractions. Your Bible, your messages, your notebook, your pen and paper. As you talk, as you fellowship with him, as you read, as you write, your mind will begin to be open. You begin to hear what he's telling you to do. You begin to write it down. You begin to write. That you don't go to a place of solitude without an expectation, and come out without getting ideas, getting things from God that he wants you to get. That is the purpose of solitude, of having time away from the crowd. Jesus Christ always took time away from his disciples, from the crowd, just to be with God. And that is what he wants us to do. As we begin to plan our lives, as we begin to focus, as we begin to have goals and direction, we should always take time from time to time to just be with God and to fellowship with him and to hear more from him and to love him and so that we can better represent him. We can better reflect him. We can know where we ought to be at every sphere of our life, at every stage of our life. And I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm going to stop here today. And I'll be back next week to talk about the lessons, specific lessons I learned from the training, the History Makers training that I went to in Kiev, Ukraine. God bless you. God bless you.